How's it going, everybody? Brett here from Perth, Australia. I just wish to give a little talk about the Rise of Skywalker and the Disney trilogy. I wish to start off first that where the trilogy went wrong, and I'll start with a bleeding stormtrooper. In The Force Awakens, this stormtrooper went down, and then somehow there was blood, and that is what got Finn to snap out of him being a stormtrooper. But for me, this is where things started going wrong, because for me, a stormtrooper was sterile. He did not have any emotions. He was like a robot. And to what I gathered, that from the Attack of the Clones, that they were genetically engineered, not to have emotions, not to have a brain, not to have a heart, and just to carry out orders. And that's another thing, having female voices in the Stormtrooper was a bit stupid in my opinion as well. And for me, that a stormtrooper should have been mysterious, no blood, or what are they exactly? And again, the clone bit, they should have stuck with that. And again, like for the First Order, collecting children to become stormtroopers, that was just stupid. When, if you run the whole empire, you got the cloning technology to yourself, and you just make as many clones as you want. So that was the first flaw. The second flaw, I believe, was The Force Awakens using Han Solo as the front person for the storyline. For me, he wasn't the main hero in the past trilogy, that he was like a support act, or should I say the support to the main. So he was still main, but he was still a support of Leia and Luke, in my opinion. And he did have a role, and we do know that Harrison Ford wasn't sure if he would come back for Return of the Jedi, so they stuck him in the carbon freeze just to see what would happen. So I think that was a missed opportunity. Okay, we'll go to the Rise of Skywalker, and then we'll go back to Disney trilogy in general. Number one, the Rise of Skywalker itself, the title is stupid. It makes no sense whatsoever. The rise of which Skywalker? Why should did any Skywalker's rise? That's just completely and utterly stupid. As I said, I'm a Palpatine fan myself, but he should not have been in this film. They all talk about new characters, so that placement should have been for a new Sith Lord that should have been established. I do not like Snoke at all. The three past characters I did not like was Snoke, Poe, and Mars. They're my three. And for me, Snoke was too unrealistic. I believe you go too far with force powers that no one else got a chance. Like, if he was really that strong, who could fight against him? So what's the point? And that's where they failed as well. So Kylo, in the whatever they have the writing, and even in the dialogue, he says, "Oh, I'm going to seek out and kill you," because he's his rival. And then he even says, "I'm going to kill you," and then he's right there with the laser sword to him, and he could have killed him and didn't. So that's stupid. Why say it? Why write it down and then it goes nowhere? That's just completely stupid. The next thing is all these Star Destroyers. Like, you don't have that many so close together or lined up. If they've got to fly away or manoeuvre, where they've got to go crash into each other, I guess they could go up or down. And again, that is unrealistic. So where was this crew? Do they, farm food for these people? They're just sitting on the ground for 40 years, preparing all in uniform. Oh, we just wait here for 40 years, as if. That's just completely and utterly stupid. My next point was Poe in all episodes, just annoying dialogue. I do not like him at all, I never have, and I just get annoyed listening to him and hearing, "Oh, you're difficult," and his other dialogues. Oh, it's just wrong. I'll put Finn. Finn has stepped up in my opinion. I did like him in the Rise of Skywalker, but the other two, he was underused. I did not like everything about him in the Rise of Skywalker, but we'll get to that later. I did like the Leia dialogue. They said, "Oh, it was limited and you could tell us forced." Yes and no. It wasn't as bad as what people say, and I believe they did a reasonably good job using Leia with the old footage. And again, I did not mind the Leia and Rey connection and her calling her master. I believe that could have worked just as good as Luke calling her master. Him, should I say, her calling Luke master. So I believe that was really good. And that could have went somewhere. But again, it's episode 9. It's a wasted opportunity. this stuff should have been in episode 7 or 8 at the latest. Not, or, you know, let's bring it in at episode 9. Absolutely stupid rubbish. The next one I wrote down is when Poe said that Rey is the best fighter. That, you know, what's she doing out here doing her swords? You know, you're the best fighter, we need you out there. When did she become the best fighter? That's just absolutely stupid again. Like, that's a big down, as people would say, like a Mary Sue, but you know the story yourself, so I don't need to explain that. Let's continue on. Alright, I did like Rose a bit more in this episode. It was a bit annoying, her storyline given, but I never hated the character. And this episode, I believe, if there was more of how she acted in this one back, she would have worked far better. I put down, like, people at my cinema did not laugh at the C-3PO saying, "Oh, I'm alright, but you didn't ask my name," or whatever. I did not find that funny at all. Yeah, so also put down, like the movie, as other people have used the analogies like the Goonies, like a scavenger hunt looking for the Wayfinder. I believe that could have played a part, but it stretched out too long, and that's a bit silly in my opinion. And then I put down more stupid Poe dialogue. I write down that R2-D2 and C-3PO, that, you know, that C-3PO says, "Oh, you're my best friend." Yes, it's warm to the heart, but they're droids. They don't have that emotion. They're just robots and programs, like Suri. Not that I've ever talked to Suri, but you know the story. Another one is the captain's medallion, that you can use this medallion to go on any you know, First Order fleet or the Sith fleet. That's just stupid. Or here you go, you got a token, you're flying around. "Oh, hello, yes, I've got this medallion here, can I land?" "Oh, sure, you got the medallion." Oh, you know, that was absolutely stupid as well. And I'll put down, what does the Emperor need a Wayfinder? Why was there one on the Death Star? Did he think he was going to lose and go somewhere else? You know, I just think that's a bit stupid. Another one is the scene that the stormtroopers go by and then they all jump out with their guns, ready to shoot everyone. Why not just shoot them then? You know, so they just march by and then you jump out. That, you know, again, a bit of silliness. The red mask, the welding, the red welds. No, that was, it looks stupid. And even Kylo says in the movie, "Oh, what do you think?" You know, it's just stupid. Why would you? You know, can't they make a new mask, or, you know, the story? Another one, he said he never lied, but first off he says Rey's parents sold her for drinking money, and this time he's saying, "Oh, they sold her, you know, to protect her." So, but what do you have to sell to protect? You could give them away. You know, that doesn't make any sense at all. Again, there's a scene that Rey and Kylo with all the stormtroopers on the Star Destroyer or whatever, surrounded, and then the Falcon comes up, turns around, and the blasters just come and, you know, blow everybody away. You know, the stormtroopers, Kylo holds his ground, but Rey doesn't get blown away. She's able to jump across and they take off. But I also say, why didn't that just cook everybody? You know, they're just jet blasters, man. That could even, you know, just unthought of rubbish. I wrote out about this dagger. You pull this thing out and it looks like the wreckage of the Death Star at this certain point, and the tip is where the Wayfinder is. Again, if there's an ancient dagger, how would it have that design? Or how would they know that was going to survive to make that pattern for the Wayfinder? That was just absolutely stupid. Yeah, I did like Darth Rey. I wish there was more of her. I did even like how she spoke to normal Rey in that cold manner, and I believe she did a very good job. I did not like when her teeth went all sharp. That was stupid. I believe they killed it. And I would have loved to have seen Darth Rey. I reckon she would have been a cool, you know, I reckon she should have been dark from the get-go, you know. I believe I really could have taken to her character. Another one, again, the sword swinging. You know, some of her swords, she was going like that, fighting, you know, that's just unrealistic. And again, there was one part before Kylo was going to strike it down. He could have just easily went up and went down, and just didn't. So what's the point? Are they, you know? Let's see, as I put here, Mars and Poe should not be in the film. As I say, I can't stand that lady. She is quite annoying. And so, what did I like in general about the film? I did like it. As I said, it's better than The Force Awakens, which I give 2 out of 10. Better than Last Jedi, that is 0 out of 10. People claim that the Rise of Skywalker is worse than The Last Jedi. I look at people's reviews and people are more disgusted and shocked and in disbelief over The Last Jedi. Like, people film themselves leaving the cinemas and just like as if they'd just seen a massacre. Like, they were just like, what was that? This one, it was a salvage movie to salvage the fails, but it was too late to fix it. I myself, I did like Rey's journey. Not into the Mary Sue. I could like Palpatine, as I said, I like Palpatine, but he did not fit in this movie. And if you take Rey's, Mary Sue bits out, that I did like her journey and her struggle and her finding herself, and I wish I would have seen more of that in the past, as everybody else would have liked to have seen that as well. Again, I saw the movie with my mother. That's the only reason I went, because she's getting old now, 75 or so, and so they're not around forever, your parents. And so that was like sitting there with her and then seeing Force Ghost. I was reflecting about, like her parents were now both deceased, and thinking in that context I was getting a bit sad, because you're seeing these Force ghosts, you're seeing people who are dead now that people once mattered, and so that sort of took me on a emotional journey for that reason. I was thinking that, and yeah. But again, I'm going to go back now, just have a little rant on Disney. As I said, they're $1 billion storytelling company, and they can't even write a decent trilogy. As I said, they had this, the 2 women kissing in the background, but they all got to tick off the social justice issues. But hey, what about you, Bob Iger, or even Kathleen Kennedy? Bob Iger, $60 million a year, plus he's on the board of Apple. Don't know how much he would get for that. And if they're all big on social justice, why not he take a pay cut and earn $5 million a year, which is more than enough that anybody needs, and pay the lower 1,800 workers at Disney a decent salary. You know what I mean? But it's just garbage, and they're so shallow. I do not take this to, oh yeah, we've got to have more women and we've got to have this. Like, I'm not against equality. I'm not against any of this stuff, but as they say, if it's forced, but if they really care, they'll be caring more about these issues, the lower paid workers. How's that for, to be looked at? As another example that I had brought up, I was one of the first to bring it up, and I reckon I planted the seeds in other people's minds. As I said, Cobra Kai, I would have liked Karate Kid when I was a little kid, but as I grew up, I didn't really dig the film that much, I guess. But when Cobra Kai came out, I did like it. I didn't like Sensei Kreese back then, but now I thought, man, he's cool, and I did love Cobra Kai. And if Google, YouTube, I hate them too, but they can find a team to write seasons 1, 2 and 3, the same team, not, well, we're going to get him and then him and then him, and then have a cohesive storyline. So they brought Kreese in for season 2, so he's going to be smashing season 3. And as I said, they brought up Daniel and Johnny Lawrence and had their rivalry, but then had their children and his neighbour, and developed a story of their characters, which Star Wars could have easily done. And as I was saying, that the Knights of Ren, they could have been Kylo's apprentices. You had Luke with Rey, and maybe Rey in the future, she becomes a master to train others. And then you got, episodes 11, episodes 12, episodes 20. The Star Wars saga continues, and that is the point. Not Oya ends at episode 9. And again, $1 billion company who, the purpose of existing is to write stories and to sell entertainment, was not able to hire a team to, you know, write a trilogy. As I said, I had an outline that I had just then. You know, you have a struggle, as I said, Kylo with his knights, and, you know, they develop Luke, you know, Master Luke. You could have had, like, you know, I wasn't a Snoke fan, as I said. You can go too far with Force powers that, you know, if you just, like, no one can, got a chance against you, well, that defeats the purpose. You know that, oh, well, they got no chance of beating him. He just picks anyone he wants up, just floats them and freezes them there. They can't do nothing. You know, that's just completely stupid as well. And Rey should have used her Force Lightning on him and had a real battle. You know, so, again, a bit of a letdown. And again, I gave The Rise of Skywalker a 7 or 8 out of 10. Again, I love the visuals. They really took me there. The asteroids and what JJ did with that was brilliant. As they say, the musician. I listed my dislikes, and as I said, I'm going up a bit high because I did like Rey's struggle. You know, when, you know, as I said, that she had to grow as a person, find her way. And I did dig that, and I believe that she did accomplish that. One thing I left out of my little thing here is about people complaining that Kylo changed too quickly to the light side. I'll say no, I believe that he wasn't fully on the dark side in the first place. He was always coming and going internally, so for him to go that back over, it wasn't that much, and it was that act of kindness of Rey that after the fight, that she used a little healing gift that she's got to resurrect her up. But as they say, that leaves plot holes through the whole last first 6 episodes, when, you know, you just go around and heal everyone because no one has to die. You know, thank you for watching and have a good day.